Hello everybody, my name is Jimmie. I have been living in Hong Kong for 30 years. My favorite movie is 占士邦 because 占士邦 is very handsome. How is it going, guys? Today I would like to share to you on how Chinese people speak English. When you listen to Chinese people speaking English, normally you have this perception that they were speaking Chinese. What is the main reason? What is the cause to this scenario? When I found out that Chinese people who are about to learn English, they have adopted the wrong method, that they disregarded the pronunciations, the schwa sound, the silent letters and spellings. So if you want to learn English, it is okay to translate English words to Chinese so you can understand, but please don't transliterate. Transliterations is a transition of sound and tone, and their letter correspondences to one language and to another. In other meaning, they use Chinese words that has almost similar sound or tone, and they use it to replace a small part of an English words. So they use all these Chinese characters to pronounce every single English word, and it is very wrong. So right now I'm about to speak Chinese in phrases and words that practically has no structures, has no grammars, has no meaning at all. Just hear me out. Hello everybody, my name is Jimmie. I have been living in Hong Kong for 30 years. My favorite movie is 占士邦 because 占士邦 is very handsome. So if you don't understand me, no worries because I was speaking Chinese. However, if you can notice that I was actually speaking English, this is Chinese accent English. So if you understand Chinese and you know how to read Chinese characters, you can read the phrase that I was just talking about. If you manage to say all these Chinese words, and you are speaking Chinese accent English. So for all these words, I'm going to put it in the video description below. So just go and have a try, read and speak those words, and you're going to sound like Chinese speaker. So if you really want to learn how to speak Chinese accent English, why don't you just learn Mandarin? So because of the dominance of transliterations, Chinese people tend to pronounce every consonant. Of course, there are lots of Chinese words that have English loanwords. For example, shopping into 血拼, hacker, 黑客, shocker, 休克, I'm very 休克, hamburger, 汉堡, Safa and 高尔夫. So there are lots more. I'm not going to say more about it. But what I really don't like is that the media and the entertainment industry has abused this transliteration in the Chinese language. That they transliterated all celebrity names and brands, which is a shame. For example, as I said previously, James Bond, they will say it as 占士邦. Brad Pitt is 布莱德皮特 David Beckham is 大卫贝克汉姆 I love David Beckham. But you know what? Things are getting better now because they didn't transliterate Iron Man into Iron Man, Spider-Man into Spider-Man, Thanos into Thanos. Another one is 我看他佛爱我 So another one is that Chinese people never say the N word, which is nigger.
What's up, my nigga?
Normally when you see the words that has AN or ON, for example, want, they will say it as wang, want, wang. I want you, you're the only one.
都是装，都是装嘛，你是装。
So another one which is handsome. If you can notice previously I say this word handsome, they will neglect the N sound and just say it as hāng shèng or hāng shèng. You look very handsome. Another one is country. 康德里. My country is China. So another one is phone. 看爱黑扶风南北. What? Can I have your phone number? I got your daughter now, and I want $500 million. 500 million? You must be starving. So another one is that Chinese people cannot pronounce th and t, so they only apply for several words. For example, this, 的士, that, Saturday, train, 特练, I train very hard. 爱是特练最为厉害的. That man is handsome. 傻子面的一丝夯胜. So you know what? I feel like I'm practicing my Chinese because seeing all these words, actually I need to find out how they really sound like. Actually I need to check the 汉语拼音 so I can pronounce it correctly. You know what? I fool you. 爱是订了10倍的人个曼德林. Personally, I think that this video can be educational for Chinese people to avoid speaking in this way. Don't do transliteration because it will affect you speaking English and the N sound and the TH sound. Apart from that, there are other English accents that you can learn, which are Russian, Scottish, and Indian accents. I'll see you in the next video.